My name is Scott. I am Scott Allen Dukes. I'd always been a good guy. I'd never been in any trouble or, gotten really into anything big, smoked some pot here or there. My story don't really get scary until I moved up here. Started drinking a lot. We did without a lot because of, the alcoholism. Holly has always, it seemed like when I met her, our paths kept crossing.
I was, 30 and he was 28, and, I had been divorced from my first alcoholic husband for, 3 years, and he was beautiful, and, it was just a new thing for me, for him, because I was just single for so long and wanted nothing to do with men or any type of relationship because of, my first husband, and then, he just drinks. And then it was, he just smokes a joint every once in a while. You know what I mean?
I had gotten hurt, and I was drinking a lot, but I had gotten hurt, and went to the doctor, started seeing a pain specialist, and he put me on Percocet, and started abusing them. I would start, I would take, I don't know, probably sometimes 15, 20 a day, pills a day, yeah, and I'd still be drinking.
I knew he loved me, and he knows that I loved him, but at the same time, we weren't friends anymore. We didn't communicate, we didn't talk. I didn't trust a word that came out of his mouth. I mean, nothing that came out of his mouth. Yeah, and money disappeared every day. TVs disappeared. Everything. He totaled 2 cars. One of them, he didn't even know where he wrecked it or how he wrecked it, and it was 6 months old.
She dealt with it for a long time. There was a lot of abuse on my part towards her, mentally and physically. A lot of things I put her through she didn't deserve.
I lived my life, and he lived his life, and it was like that for years.
It got so bad to where I remember I moved out of our bedroom and moved into the spare bedroom that we had in our house.
In our 30s.
Yeah, in our 30s, yeah.
So that's just, how horrible is that in a marriage,
I had a guy that used to work for me at one of my restaurants, and it's just, Holly never liked him. She always got bad vibes off of him, but he's the guy to introduce me to heroin, and that's where if I thought the road was tough before this, I haven't seen nothing until I got into that life, and that took me to somewhere that I have never been before, and I never want to go back. I couldn't go, it seemed like I couldn't go 24, 48 hours without having withdrawals and being sick, and she's constantly questioning me about stuff, saying, your eyes look really messed up, your speech is slurred, or I'd be sitting there, start, dozing off, and just wasn't myself, and changed my whole demeanor.
But that's what it does. So, it turns you into this person that your husband is, into somebody that he is completely the opposite.
And this went on, for 4 years, but towards the end, I was using a lot more than that because, I was doing about a gram a day. Probably every other Friday, or probably every Friday, almost 2 grams a day. And I remember saying, Scott, you're 36 years old. What are you doing, man? Scott, you're 37. What are you doing? And the years just kept going. Scott, you're 38. What are you doing? Scott, you're 39. What are you doing? Scott, you're 40 years old. What are you doing? To think now how ignorant and the lives that I put in danger, by my foolishness and the way I sinned. The children's lives I put in danger. I look at all my kids and, what I had done to them, the damage that I'd done to them. The damage that I'd done to my wife. And she had, it was so bad that, she was sitting there watching me kill myself every day, to the point where she went and took a protection order out just to have me out of the house and away from the kids. And, and I was spending, $1,000 a week, on drugs.
There were times where he would grab a hold of me and, knock me down or whatever. The devil had us so completely constricted in our life that we were miserable, and our kids were miserable. I mean, they were growing up seeing things that they should have never have seen.
August 25th, I had just picked some up, and it was just a little bit, about $20 worth. It's really all the money I had on me. Only to later find out that it was, heroin, fentanyl, and an elephant tranquilizer, I guess is what they had mixed in with it. I remember that day very vaguely, and I was driving down the road, down Smith Road, and I had just done a line of it, and I was like, wow, when it hit me. As soon as I done it, it hit me, and I was, I remember I was like, whoa, this has never happened before. I've never felt like this before. And I remember saying, Scott, you need to hit your brakes, pull over. The only thing I remember is hitting my brakes, and I was done. I was dead for 21 minutes, and the guy, I had bumped a van right there at Smith Road, and the guy gets out of the van. I guess I'm dead at this time. Pulls me out and starts, realizes I'm not breathing or anything. Didn't have a pulse. Starts doing CPR on me. Calls 911. The ambulance come. I guess this was almost 15 minutes before they even got there. And they hit me with a can of Narcan and didn't get a response. I guess they waited a couple minutes, hit me with another can of Narcan, never got a response, and they loaded me up into the ambulance. And the only thing I remember is being in a black tunnel, spinning, and there's at a point of light. I remember saying to myself, I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to get there. And I guess almost 5 minutes after they hit me with the can of Narcan, I guess I was on my way to University Hospital, where I guess to the coroner station or whatever it is they do, and I start breathing, and I wake up on my own and freak the ambulance driver out. He started beating on the back of the windows and saying, oh, he's alive, and I was just looking at him like, yeah, of course I'm alive. What's going on? He goes, man, you were absolutely just dead. We hit you with 2 cans of Narcan and we thought you were gone because you didn't respond. I remember right after that, I started praying. I was like, Lord, please, thank you for everything that you've done. I went to University Hospital, and the doctor, told me, he was like, that just don't happen to anybody. What happened to you? And the next morning, they put me on a plane to Atlanta, back to Atlanta. My sister picked me up from the airport in Atlanta. I went to Thomasville, Georgia. It's down near the Florida-Georgia line. I went and detoxed there for a week. As soon as I hit that detox facility, one of the guys in there, he let me know. He came right up to me, we started talking, we were really good friends. He said, if anybody can heal you, it's Jesus, man. And, from there is where my small journey started. From Thomasville, Georgia, I went to Anniston, Alabama. There was a Christian program called Center of Hope there, and I was there for almost 3 months. And man, I started going at it really hard, with Jesus. I got baptized again there, and it's not weird to me, but for anyone else that's not a Christian, when you come to the Lord and He starts blessing you with things all over again, and He starts answering your prayers, and the way when you pray to Him about changing somebody's heart, and you can tell a difference in their voice. A couple days later, when you talk to him, man, he is faithful, and there's a reason that he calls himself our Savior. Man, he will save you and help you and pull you out of anything. I didn't want to be cross-addicted to some other drug like Suboxone and methadone or whatever it was. I wanted to be clean, and free.
And, there's so many people in this world that need to realize that Jesus is our medicine. That's what he is. He is, that Bible is our instruction book. We don't need anything else.
The Lord has shown me a different way of living, and I'm forever grateful, for everything that he's done for me. And, most of all, giving me a second chance.
When you bring Jesus, you bring God into your life can become so good in every aspect, especially like our marriage is so good. Our kids are so happy, and before they wouldn't bat an eye at us screaming at each other. Or something getting broke. And now we have a chance to lead them in the right path, on the right path with Jesus, to where that won't ever happen in their life. The cycle, the chain, everything's been broke.
My whole life, to be an alcoholic and drug addict for 20 years, for the first time in my life, I can take a clean drug test.
I've never been this happy in my life. It took me being 43 years old to almost 44. This is the only way to live. This is it.
This is it. I've never, the best high I've ever gotten is from Jesus loving me the way that he has. And, to bear all of his fruits, the love, joy, faithfulness, honesty, the compassion that he has is, I've never had this before. And, I was, as long as you know me, I was a pretty angry person. I'm not angry. There's no hate. I love everyone. And he is forever in love with him. Just sum it up with that.
God is good.